Hey everyone. So, I just wanted to do a short video today because it's been a while. And, yeah, as some of you may have heard, we got a little busted by the Border Patrol. So, here's what happened. We traveled south to Yuma for a couple days because the weather was rainy and getting cold up by Havasu and Quartzsite. Yuma, if I remember correctly, is about an hour, 2 hours max from Quartzsite. Not bad drive at all. So we go down there, we visited the prison, we kind of checked it out. And living in Upper Michigan, I've seen the Canadian border. During a school trip for a robotics competition, we were in what was called Sault Ste. Marie, and that is the tip of Upper Michigan. Right across a bridge was Canada. And it was just so cool to be like, hey, that's Canada. So, being all the way down here, there was no way I was going to go back home without seeing Mexico, without seeing the border. So, we're in Yuma. Our first day goes by. Day 2. We wake up. What's the plans for today? Well, I don't have a passport, so unfortunately crossing the border was not an option. And due to the virus right now, everything is wonky. So I didn't even want to mess with it right now. You don't mess with that kind of stuff unless you're 110% sure that you could safely get over and safely cross back and all that. You don't want any problems in that kind of situation. So we found a spot where there is a border crossing. I heard that if you had a gold star on your driver's license, there was a way to park your vehicle and cross over. I did a lot of research into it. Part of it seems true, part of it doesn't. Again, not really sure. Didn't want to take the risk, especially with everything being locked up because of the virus right now. So, the original spot, we pull it up and it's like 20-30 miles from our campsite. Not bad. I hit start for the directions on Google Maps, and it tells me it's going to take about an hour to drive there because of the traffic. So, we're debating, is it worth it? It's kind of out of our way. Well, I did Street View, and I saw that the park that we were going to, right on the border, is actually fenced up. So, there's no guarantee that we would even get there and the park is open. Maybe they have it locked up and closed because of the virus. And I wasn't willing to go an hour in an opposite direction just to not see anything. So, I pop on Google Maps and I turn on satellite mode. Well, I found a back road that went from our campsite down south because we were in California, on the California side of the border. It went a little down the road and there was a river there. The river was literally the border between the United States and Mexico. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we could do this. So I talked to my uncle and he's like, yeah, we could do that. And I tell him though, I'm like, well, you know what these back roads are usually used for, right? I mean, we don't want to cause any trouble here. And we start laughing, and we're like, yeah, Border Patrol's going to be everywhere. This probably isn't going to work out, but what the heck? You know, they say people my age were living young, wild, and free. And usually, I am not the definition of young, wild, or free. Like, I usually stay at home in my apartment. I don't party. I do my homework, all of that stuff. I'm not the typical party animal of college. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to check wild off of that list. We hop in our vehicles and we drive down. We get there and we get out of our vehicles. We walk up the bank, and on the other side of this bank is a canal with a river running through it. On the other side is just another bank. No wall, no nothing. Just a normal bank, looks like a normal canal, but the border is right in the middle of that river, so we're looking on the other side, and that is Mexico. We're all sitting there with our cameras, taking pictures. Oh, this is so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And I look at my uncles, and I'm like, you know what's crazy, though? How do they watch all of this? This is a lot to watch. I'm like, it's kind of creepy. You gotta know that they're watching us right now. And we're laughing, and we're like, yeah, they probably are. I'm sure they are. Well, we're taking pictures, taking in the sight. And I look over to my left for some reason. Yeah, guys, we got some trouble. In the horizon was a Border Patrol truck just flying up to us. Dust coming up behind his truck. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This is it. I mean, we can't. If we leave, it's just going to look suspicious. They're going to track us down. Let's go. Let's see what happens. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, man, I want to get a video of this guy driving up to us, but I don't want to get in trouble. So we're like, man, this is good. Should we film it? Should we not? I'm like, I mean, it was my adrenaline was just going at this point. And the guy pulls up, and right away, he has his window down. Hey, how's it going, guys? And he gets out of the truck. And, oh, we're good. We're actually from Upper Michigan. We've never been this far south. We just kind of wanted to see the border. Guy was very chill. Very chill about it. He's like, yeah, right on the other side is the border. We were like, the canal, it seems so easy to cross. Like, what's preventing it? And he says that the current, the undertow, is so strong they actually need scuba suits and stuff when they go in it to retrieve and rescue people. So the water's so calm on top, but underneath, he said, it's just you go in there and you're long gone. It's gonna take you away. He told us that the wall was a little bit down the road. He gave us instructions, actually. He's like, yeah, just hop in your vehicles, drive down the road some, and up on a hill, you'll be able to see the new border wall that was put up. And he's telling us people try to swim it. There's buoys with lines. He said people try to pull themselves across the lines. So he's just telling us all this information, and we told him, we were like, how do they see us? I mean, they must see us on radar or something. And he's like, oh yeah. And he's laughing. He's like, we saw you guys coming from so far away. He's like, we kind of figured you guys were locals though. And we just we check on the locals, see what's up, and then we get on our way. He's like, but that giant tower over there in the horizon, that seems like a cell tower. He's like, yeah, those are actually cameras, and we could see all the way across, zoomed in on the freaking mountain banks all the way over by your campsites again. So we've been watching you for a while. And he's laughing, and just a very chilled guy. So he takes off, and he's like, just be careful. The roads, you may get stuck in the roads. And my van spun a little bit as we started to leave again. But he's like, yeah, we just check on the locals, and then we get on our way, so we don't really pay attention to you. So don't be getting close to the canal. Just be careful driving and everything. So we go, and we checked out the wall, and it looks like they were still building onto it. I'm not entirely sure. We saw some construction vehicles there, but it was definitely something. It was experience I'm never gonna forget, that's for sure. And I got the little interrogation on the way back. On the way back from Yuma, we pulled into a Border Patrol checkpoint going towards Quartzsite. Every vehicle has to stop at these checkpoints. So I'm behind a semi, and they have a bunch of vehicles. Cameras. We've gone through these a couple times now. I think this was actually our second time going through one. But they have cameras just lined up, a bunch of them, every single possible angle. So I'm behind a semi. It takes my picture, I pull forward, and the guy, "Hey, how's it going?" I forgot to put my vehicle in park, so when I went to take my foot off the brake, thinking it was in park, the vehicle rolled forward. The guy jumps forward, he's like, "Where are you going?" Quartzsite. Where are you coming from?" "Yuma." Paused, looked around for a little bit, he's like, "Can you tell me what state you were born in?" Upper Michigan." And then he kind of just smiles and he looks and he's like, "Okay, go ahead." So it was an interesting day, but we got to see Mexico. We didn't get in trouble. So a good experience all around. And it was a hell of a story. So I had to share it. I figured a bunch of people would get a kick out of this one. So